Hello everyone, I'm the Whiskey Enthusiast. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have another old versus new. We have the Arran Bothy Quarter Cask. It's one of my favorite whiskies, old and new. I just generally love it. And I love Arran as a distillery. I've tried many Arran, tried the exclusive ones for like different countries. They do that 17 years old, 13 years old. I love their 10. I have one of the oldest 10s, I think the first 10 I have. I'm waiting for a special occasion to open that, but even the new 10 is really nice. I even like the Barrel Reserve, which is the entry level one. I've not done it yet, but I will. I need to find a easier way to access the bottles I'm talking about. But today we have the old Arran Bothy and we have the new one as a form of a sample. I don't have the bottle of the new one. So the Bothy is the quarter cask. This is batch number 3, one of 13,800, bottled in 2017, bottled at 53.2% ABV, non-chill filtered, natural color. I'll just show you the bottle. This is the old design. This is how it used to look like. This is and the new design is, I'll put it up here, but I'm pretty sure all of you know. The Arran single malt selected for the Bothy was initially matured in first fill ex-bourbon barrels before being transferred for secondary maturation into smaller American oak casks for a minimum of 18 months. This process creates a greater contact between the whiskey and oak and much more intense maturation. And the same one, the new one as well. The new one doesn't come in batches anymore. They just don't do it, but this one did. Now, it says quarter cask, and normally when someone says quarter cask, you would think quarter of an American standard barrel, which is 200 liters. Then you think, oh, 50 liters quarter cask. However, the quarter casks used in these are 125 liters, which means the full size is 500 liters. So that tells us these were butts, and butts are predominantly used for sherry. So you can't necessarily get more information than that on the web. So were they ex-sherry butts that they used? The quarter casks of ex-sherry butts they used to further mature their whiskey? If so, will we find a sherry influence? Now the new one, this one says 18 months, second maturation. This one says, the new one says, I'll just show you, but it doesn't matter. 7 years ex-bourbon, and then 2 years finishing in quarter cask. So these are 9 years old. This says 18 months, but we can assume it's 8.5 or 9 years. And this is bottled at 56.2, and this is 53.2. Big difference, actually. So this could, well, I mean, it's cask strength, so you would dictate that this maybe is younger, but it's not. Older, because it lost more. But the weather determines it. The cask style determines it. Anyway, anything else to tell you about the bottle? The label changed. The logo changed. The logo was all round in the old one. Now it's on the shape of the island. And the new bottle has braille, so the blind people can read it, which is, I think, very inclusive, fantastic. And you see these 2 eagles in the bottle. Can you see it? There you go. It's on the logo of the old one and the new one as well. Those 2 eagles, when the distillery was first opening up, they're golden eagles. It was apparently their nesting ground, and they're protected. So when they came, they had to move the distillery a little bit, and they had to wait till they go. So they're just honoring the eagles. Anyway, because these are high strength whiskies, I'm gonna try them on their own, and then I'm gonna do some water magic, and with some editing, I think you're gonna be fine. Not watch me do it all the time. Anyway, this is the old one, on the nose. Very fresh, pear, malty, honey, spicy. I get cinnamon, I get nutmeg. Yeah, pears, green apples. Sweetness, but not like a cherry overpowering sweetness. Quince. Very strong quince note. Okay. I'm not smelling myself. This is to reset my nose. It's one of the techniques. If you smell, well, I am smelling myself. If you smell yourself, that's like a neutral smell. You can reset your nose. It's one of the tricks to, it's like smelling coffee, which I've never found helped. Second one, well, the new one. It's so weird. There's similar notes, but this feels like there's a sponge on it. It feels much more closed off than the first one. Feels much shy, much more shy. But more shiny. Yeah, pear notes are more dominant on this one, and more alcohol, which is, you know, not surprising. There's about 3% alcohol more on this new one. It's a bit closed off though. But pear and quince notes are here. Is there a color difference? Kind of feel like very similar, but I think the old one is a shade dark, but very, very little. Alright, shall we dive into the palate? Again, 53.2, so let's see. Yes. Okay. Very spicy, but apricot and peach gummies. Yeah, you know, those Haribo gummies where it's on the shape of peach or apricot. Well, it's more apricot than peach actually. Maybe basically apricot gum or apricot sweet. Massive. That pear note just completely turned into sugary apricot. But there's an overpowering spiciness around it as well. It's not super sweet. Well, it is sweet, but there's a massive spiciness as well. And there's maltiness there, there's nuttiness there. The spice comes in the format of, I would say, ginger and maybe biting into a lemon or orange rind. Or even grapefruit, actually, yes, because it's a bit bitter. It is grapefruit, I'm gonna say. Yeah. Beautiful. The finish, going with that apricot gummy bear. Or it's not gummy bear, but you know, I'll put the photo up there so you can understand what I'm talking about. I know not every market has the same sweets, but I'm pretty sure at one point in your life you've tried that. So still going, very nice, very nice. Now Arran doesn't use peat. They have a side one. They have the Macri Moore. They do their heavily peated whiskies in that, but now they started a new distillery called Lagg. They did their inaugural release in August 2022 in 3 batches. That's heavily peated, all at 50 ppm. Yeah, I think it is 50 ppm. And there's STR, there's ex-bourbon, and also they did it in 3 batches or 3 versions. I have not tried them yet, but I have their peated new make, which is 63.5, so it's proper. So I'm waiting to get my hands on one of those new ones so I can compare it with this one. But this is the Lagg new make. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And if you haven't tried a new make, definitely do it, because it just gives you a fantastic insight into what the whiskey is. I am rambling on a lot in these old versus new ones. I'm just excited. So this is the new one on the palate. Alright, it's much more spicier than the old one. It's ginger candy. I don't know if you've ever had it, but if you have like sore throat, you have ginger lozenges. It's that. There's a bit of honeyness there. No peach whatsoever. Lemon rind, grapefruit, massive ginger spice, a little bit of white pepper, bit nuttiness, bit honey. So it's one of those ginger spices. You get candied ginger, dried candied ginger. Add a little bit more honey note to it and a shiny lemon note to it, and that's it. That's the palate. It's super spicy. So I'm gonna do this with some water, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back, guys. Add the same amount of water. Let's see what it did to the old one. The nose turned into much more malty and honey note. The pear went into background, and I just smell apricot. Apricot jam, walnut, a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of a nutmeg, and a hint of ginger. The new one, pear nose shined, got much more fresher. How weird that I find now the apricot sweetness on this one, on the nose, more apparent, that I didn't before. So obviously, I mean, they're similar spirits. They're coming from the same stills, years apart, but going through a similar maturation period. So it's not crazy to find similarities. Yeah. So the new one on the palate now. Beautiful. With a little bit of water. The spiciness just took the backseat. It's now complementing the whole taste. Now I get a lot of honey and malty notes, a lot of pear, red apples, and apricot notes are coming forward as well. It's becoming very sweet now, sweet, spicy, but the ginger spice is now in the background. Beautiful. And the finish is just sweet. Very pretty. Now let's see what water did to the old one. The old one got a bit more bitter. It got more malty. The spice notes increased in the old one, whereas before water there was not that much, and the apricot note decreased. So with water, the old one is not doing so well. I think from what I can gather. This is assuming, right? The old one was 53.2 and the new one was 56.2. And I think what I did is, with some adding water, I dropped the new one into the old one's original cask strength. I dropped the old one into around 50s, which didn't do its any favors. So I think Arran, the Bothy Quarter Cask, comes into its own at 53.2% ABV. This is what I'm going to deduct from this, and I'm going to say I prefer the old one without water, the new one with water, but it is still a fantastic dram. If you can get your hands on, go ahead and grab. If you like Arran, if you like bold, strong, shiny, fruity, but spicy flavors, go ahead and get your hands on a Bothy. I don't think you're going to get disappointed at all. I think you're going to enjoy this. And if you haven't, try an Arran. I think you're going to like their house style. It's a very very cool distillery. I think you're going to enjoy it. So I'm going to recommend 3 Glencairns on the Bothy because I love it so much. I really enjoy it. And how much water you want is completely up to you. So guys, that's it from me. I know this was a bit of a long-winded one compared to my other ones, but these old versus news do get that way. So you're essentially watching one video, getting 2 reviews. Come on, it's good value. Anyways, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. And if you like this video, please hit that like button and let me know. Do you prefer the older styles? Do you prefer the new ones? I know people have been mixed thoughts about the new 10 because it's getting more sherried, whereas the old one was a bit more bourbon forward. But they're both really good. Let me know about your thoughts on Arran and about these 2 bottlings, about the Bothys. Have you tried old and new? What do you think? And I shall see you on the next one. Thanks for joining me. Ciao.